Okay guys, well, welcome back for day 2 of the egg experiment, and you can actually see my cat. He's joining us right now. That is Smudge. So, hi Smudge. Um, we're gonna go through what you need to do for day 2, and so you've had your eggs soaking in the vinegar, but I think before I talk about that, I want to remind everyone what is written in green, actually. Um, and that is about the IXL assignment that was given to you on April 2nd. And I put it in the instructions for today as well, that that assignment has to be done for Friday because it's being calculated into the third quarter grades. So make sure you go back in there and take a look at it. The title of it was Discovering Cells, and you had to either get through the 2 stages or do at least practice for 30 minutes. So make sure you take a look at that. And again, also always check your emails. I sent out a couple of emails earlier, one that had the instructions for the osmosis experiment that we're doing, and one for a do-it-yourself for creating, I'm sorry, I have my cats are joining us tonight, do-it-yourself distilled water. So let's just jump right into the experiment here. So you've had your eggs now soaking in vinegar. Mine were in the mason jars, soaking in vinegar for 24 hours. And I have come to realize that I am going to switch mine into larger mason jars because the knives did not work to hold them submerged, and I'm using spoons. As you can see, they're sticking up out of the mason jars, and they're not doing very well either. So this is Steg. I'll let you see Steg. Come here, Steg. Go in front of the camera, bud. All right, Steg is he's an F6 Savannah cat. He belongs to my son. Come on, Steg. Good boy. He's absolutely beautiful. So anyway, let's get back to the experiment. So what I'm going to do right now, and you guys would probably be doing this over a sink, you'll notice that the eggs still have their shells, but we're working on it. And you'll notice that there's a lot of bubbles probably going around the shells, and I'll try to show the camera that in a moment. A lot of people had asked, why do we use vinegar? So I don't know if you can see this, if you can see the actual bubbles that are being created, and the foam that's on the top of that mason jar is actually the calcium. The calcium is floating away from the shell. So the reason why vinegar works is because an eggshell is made up of calcium carbonate, and vinegar actually is an acidic acid. So when you combine the two, the acid's going to break up that calcium and it's going to dissolve the shell. And while the calcium floats away and forms that foamy part, the carbonate's going to react with the acidic acid and it's going to create carbon dioxide. So that's why you had all those little bubbles coming up from the eggshell when you submerged it in vinegar. So like I said, today's procedure is fairly simple. We are still working on dissolving the eggshell, so we have to just change out the vinegar basically, because we have to get fresh vinegar into the mason jars. You're probably just going to do it over the sink, where you are going to just grab the jar here, and yeah, it's going to smell like vinegar, there's no doubt about it. And you're just going to hold the egg down a little bit, and you're going to find that it feels kind of strange. There is no doubt about it. And then you'll just dump the vinegar down the sink and then replenish your vinegar with fresh vinegar. On the other hand, I am going to take this egg out, and I'm going to use the larger mason jars because I don't have a lot of room to manipulate right now. So I'm going to dump it out, and then I'm going to carefully put the eggs into the fresh mason jars, and I'll try to get that egg right into my hand. And boy, does that feel strange. You can tell there's very little rigidness left of the eggshell. Okay, and it's really, really, it's got a very, very weird texture to it. But there's no more hard shell. You can tell that it's almost gone. And this usually takes, the dissolving of the eggshell usually takes 2 to 3 days. So this has only been 1 day for us. So I'm thinking that we should probably have a good chance of, look at the foam on my hands, that's actually the calcium, okay, that is being removed from the shell. So this takes about 2 to 3 days, like I had said, and I'm hoping tomorrow will be fully dissolved. If not, I'll just, oh, and this is Toady. Hi, Toads. Yes, I have a lot of cats because my daughter is an animal activist, so to speak. She's also a vet tech, but she has rescued so many animals and I take care of them. So this is Toady, who is now sitting in front of the camera ever so nicely. So I have my eggs now in the larger mouth mason jars, and I'm surprised he's even sniffing this because cats don't normally like vinegar. So we're going to just continue to prep them by adding fresh vinegar. And if you hear something running by, that's another cat that's just going absolutely crazy right now, running back and forth in the house. So, all right, so I'm going to take the vinegar. And again, I am just going to pour enough in each of the mason jars to completely submerge the eggs. I want to make sure that it's completely covered. And again, your egg, if you notice that egg, and I'll show you in just a moment. No, Toady, that's vinegar. You don't want that, sweetheart. Okay? Good job, buddy. It's okay. This egg right here is actually floating, as is the egg in this one. So I am going to take the butter knives and I'm going to angle them in, so that'll keep the eggs under the vinegar. I couldn't do that with the other mason jars because the other mason jars were just too narrow. I couldn't get the knife to stay in. But those look like they are submerged completely now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put those right back into the refrigerator for another 24 hours, and I will be making another video with the next steps. Hopefully the shells will be completely gone tomorrow and we can move on. So day 3 is coming up. I will keep you informed. Hope everything's going well, and if you need me to answer any questions, just, if you would, it would be much easier if you use the chat in Teams. That would be perfect. Okay? Have a great day. Talk to you soon.